Item Number SCP-1765 Object Class Killer Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1765's activity is currently limited to the confines of Area 37, which is considered its effective containment zone. Due to SCP-1765's complete manifestation of Area 37, it is to be considered a Type 4 corporeally unstable territory, and all Foundation personnel inside are to be considered effectively lost. A defensive perimeter has been established around Area 37 according to standard Telemachus protocol. Attempts to breach Area 37's complex have all ended with the loss of all involved Mobile Task Force personnel, and so have been discontinued until further notice. In the event that SCP-1765's activity spreads, the on-site nuclear devices stored in Area 37 may be activated with the authorization of O5 Command. Due to large volume of data produced by activity of SCP-1765, a designated server farm has been constructed to contain it. Said server farm is to be kept isolated from all other Foundation networks. Description: SCP-1765 is the collective designation for a group of 3 semi-corporeal entities, typically manifesting as vaguely humanoid, off-white silhouettes. Instances of SCP-1765 display a capacity to willfully weaken the structure of reality in their immediate presence, allowing them unlimited but potent control over temporal and physical distortions within a substantial range. Instances of SCP-1765 are capable of speech, speaking 3 differently toned voices described by listeners as feminine, and seem to possess individual and consistent personalities. SCP-1765 was first introduced to Area 37 following a successful raid by Foundation forces on the Serpent's Hand cell located in the nearby city of Beep. Several suspected anomalous artifacts, as well as 15 captured Serpent's Hand operatives, were retrieved and brought back to Area 37, an isolated facility specializing in the initial storage of such items. During preliminary examination of 3 of the retrieved artifacts, a small wooden loom, an animal needle, and a glass eye, all 3 instances of SCP-1765, henceforth SCP-1765-123, appeared and addressed the attendant personnel, Researcher Beep. This conversation was recorded by the testing chamber's monitoring system. Begin log. Greetings, esteemed members of the Foundation. We come to you with auspicious news. I hope I pleased you well. Hello. What the hell? Pardon, sir. I'll be with you in a moment. Sisters, I thought we had agreed to let me do the introductions. You are embarrassing us. Oh, whoops. Go on, we'll be quiet. Apologies. Yes, as I was saying, greetings. We are pleased to finally be able to make your acquaintance, for we have observed your organization for quite some time. Indeed, we have observed a great many, and out of them all you stood up like shining beacon of progress in the dark sea. Well done. Oh, and we are so very proud. Congratulations. Would someone get security? I told you, sir. I will be with you in a moment. Where was I? Oh, right. All this considered, we have decided that you and no other are worthy of receiving our assistance. It is an honor most rare, we assure you. Like a bloody steak is, that's how rare. Tartare. Why must people always be silly? We shall have to fix that later. I keep losing my train of thought. It is most infuriating. Our help, severity, assistance. Ah, thank you. Yes, our help. Seeing how meticulously you keep to the scientific method, we venture that we could be of most use to you if we do the same ourselves. Our abilities in that field are substantial after all. Yes, to assist you. We will conduct several useful experiments on your behalf and deliver you the data. We believe this is the beginning of a wonderful partnership. I think he's out cold, love. Unwell. Oh, never mind him. They record everything. That's why we chose them, isn't it? Aye, that's so. Yes. So to those who are listening, we will begin our experiments immediately, since there is hardly a point in dilly-dallying. Now, we realize that they might seem a bit harsh, but trust us, we know what is best for you. Sisters know best. Always. Following this conversation, all 3 instances of SCP-1765 began to move rapidly throughout Area 37. As SCP-1765 continued circling Area 37, several events were noticed which have been associated with reality-bending phenomena. SCP-1765 eventually ceased this pattern, presumably because Area 37 had become unstable enough to suit the parameters of the planned experimentations. At the conclusion of this process, security footage revealed that Area 37 was divided into 4 distinct sections, and Area 37's personnel divided between them according to SCP-1765's location at the time of the event, as detailed below. Section A. Previously the mess hall, storekeeping, and dormitories. The smallest of the sections. Section A was the least changed by SCP-1765. Notable additions are 2 large brass vats located in the east corner of the mess hall, a monitoring station connected to other sections of Area 37 replaced storekeeping, and a large marble sign above the entrance to dormitories reading Control Group. Personnel belonging to the Control Group are not subjected to experimentation taking place in the other sections of Area 37. Once every 5 to 7 hours, the Control Group is visited by 1 instance of SCP-1765. During said visitation, food and water are dispensed from the brass vats, and the visiting instance typically addresses the Control Group, often encouraging them to use the monitoring station to observe any ongoing experiments. Section B, formerly the outer grounds and sport facilities. Section B is a fulcrum of the localized spatial-temporal abnormality. Because of this, its size, climate, atmospheric composition, and pressure, and temporal flow are all variable, and are seemingly controlled by the will of SCP-1765-1, the entity typically overseeing experimentation in Section B. According to SCP-1765-1, experimentation in Section B is meant to delve into the effects of repetitive action performed under unusual conditions on the human psyche. Section C, formerly the main office complex. Section C exhibits similar anomalous properties to Section B, though it is associated with SCP-1765-2 rather than SCP-1765-1. Observation, as well as limited input from SCP-1765-2, indicate that experiments taking place in Section C tend to focus on group dynamics and interpersonal relations during extreme conditions. On average, the physical alterations to Section C during experimentation are more radical than those observed in Section B, while temporal alterations are significantly less so. Section D, formerly high-risk containment area. Section D is currently the least understood segment of the altered Area 37 complex. Physically, it remains virtually unchanged from its state prior to its initial manifestation by SCP-1765. Temporally, however, it appears to be entirely disconnected from the baseline stream of events, existing as an isolated bubble from events occurring outside of it. The temporal reality of Section D, as well as any experimentation taking place within it, are associated with SCP-1765-3. Due to SCP-1765-3's terse speech patterns and the general obscurity of the experiments it conducts, little is currently understood about the nature of experimentation taking place within Section D. Regardless of the section an experiment takes place, SCP-1765 will seek to provide the Foundation with high-quality video and audio feeds documenting it. This data is transferred to nearest compatible Foundation server through currently unknown means. Footage will also often contain recorded notes by the supervising instance of SCP-1765. Addendum 1765-A. The following is a description of notable experiments performed by instances of SCP-1765. Section B. State of Section. For this experiment, Section B mostly retained its original form, other than the occasional structural shifts caused by reconstitution events as a result of the experiment. Personnel involved: Researcher Beep, Agent Beep, Sanitation Engineer Beep. Experiment. Test subjects are brought into Area 37's Sports Center from an unknown location and are each given a bench, a ruler, a brown paper pad, and a ballpoint pen. Subjects were then instructed by SCP-1765-1 to closely examine the sports center's plumbing system and to measure the exact length of each pipe and the angle in which it is connected to other pipes. This process takes between 10 and 12 hours due to the size of the sports center. Before it can be completed, however, Section B begins a reconstitution event, causing the plumbing system to be completely rearranged and rendering all work previously done moot. Test subjects are then instructed to begin again. The process repeats itself 459 times before the experiment concludes. SCP-1765-1's notes. Following yesterday's somewhat disappointing expedition to Olympus Mons, but were the hosts rude. I've decided to attempt something less taxing on my test subjects, which are thus far proving to be both physically unimpressive and morally lacking. This simple examination of repeating sensory input and the manner in which it can be connected to other primal reactions to the point of overload should prove both useful to you and within my test subjects' rather limited compatibility. Finally, a proof that even we try to learn from experience, that attempt is ultimately pointless, since once life passes you by, you'll just have to learn everything all over again. That's useful knowledge, children. I do hope you are paying attention. Section C. State of Section. For this experiment, Section C took the appearance of a football stadium, with test subjects appearing round the 50-yard line. Notably, the goalpost had been removed and replaced with concrete bunkers. Personnel involved: the former members of Mobile Task Force Iota-6, Canvas Cats, 10 of the 15 captive Serpent's Hand operatives. Experiment. The experiment took place in 2 phases. On the first phase, test subjects were divided into 2 teams, both consisting of a mix of MTF personnel and Serpent's Hand operatives. Both groups were then instructed by SCP-1765-2 to head to the bunkers located at the end of the field. While running to these positions, several hooded figures, appeared on the stadium's bleachers and began bombarding the test subjects with fast-moving fiery projectiles. Additionally, 3 meters tall carved platforms began rising from the ground, requiring test subjects to exercise teamwork in order to bypass them. Due to the mixed composition of the teams, test subjects were unable to overcome the platforms in time, and both teams were incinerated by the projectiles before reaching the bunkers. 30 seconds following this, the second phase of the experiment began, with the same group of test subjects again appearing near the 50-yard line unharmed. Subjects were again divided into 2 groups, one consisting only of MTF personnel, the other of the Serpent's Hand operatives. Test subjects were again instructed to reach the bunkers. Tests proceeded as previously recorded, with both teams now able to surpass the raised platforms and reach the bunkers. At this moment, however, the doors to the bunkers closed shut, and 2 previously unseen pairs of sizable metal hammers from an unknown origin spot, crushing both teams to death. SCP-1765-2's notes. I saw the kids were having a bad time with that double thing we did. So I thought to myself, smile kitties, they don't go from moments no more. It's too slow for them. They want excitement, heck, and explosions and sports. So I called a few old friends of mine, they were happy to help. When they just, what is the name of the tall one with the robes? Martin, Marban, or was it John? Bah, can't remember. I know he just loves the football. He sure had a grand of time, even with the burning and crushing and all. Oh, I think I'm forgetting something. Oh, the test. This was a test, yeah. See, it goes to show you that no matter who you're with, you'll eventually get crushed by huge metal hammers down from the sky. No, that can't be right. I got it. Doesn't matter how much you prepare and who's with you, sooner or later, fate's gonna catch up with you. This I like. This sounds just peachy. A lesson to be learned, my lads. A lesson to be learned. Section D. State of Section. Physically, Section D remained unchanged from its original state. Personnel involved. Site Director Beep. Experiment. Site Director Beep enters Area 37's main containment vault. At the center of the vault table, likely taken from the mess hall, is placed. On the table are 2 1-liter vats of Beep brand ice cream, one pistachio flavored and the other passion fruit flavored. Site Director Beep is instructed by SCP-1765-3 to choose. Site Director Beep then chooses the pistachio-flavored ice cream and leaves the room. At this point, footage momentarily blurs, and Site Director Beep returns to the room in which the unchosen vat of ice cream was replaced by a different one. This one chocolate-flavored. He is again instructed to choose, this time picking the chocolate-flavored ice cream. The process repeats itself with each unpicked vat by one of a different flavor. At the time of the writing of this document, the Foundation has received over 10,000 hours of footage from this experiment, with analysis identifying over 200,000 different flavors of ice cream, including Meerkat Marshmallow Madness, Tranquility, the shoe that you always liked, God's Wrath, and Redacted. All evidence suggests that this experiment is still ongoing. SCP-1735-3's notes. Note is found at the beginning of the 1356th hour of footage. Delicious.